China, growing hemp. So if there's big lakes, rivers, all around it, you'll find hemp fields. It's quite normal. In those areas, you'll just, the houses and the farmers, there's hemp everywhere. There you go. So these are how they dry the stalks. Those are about 3 to 3.5 meters high. So this is in front of the farmers' houses. This is a typical warehouse where they dry the hemp. And there's a hemp field off to the left. You can see how big it is. This is kind of late in the season, so most of them have been cut down. And there I am in the camouflage in the hemp fields. What you'll see is that the water might be a higher level than the fields, and then they just open up the water to flood the hemp fields because it takes a lot of water. You don't need any pesticides to grow it. There's a hemp farmer. When I asked her, how long have you been growing hemp? She said in Chinese, too long. But they seem to be pretty happy out there. They use it for everything. They use the seeds with their food, and they use the leftover herds that's not made into clothing to burn their stoves. So someone came up to me and asked me if they could do press board with that leftover stuff and such a big volume. And I was like, yeah, if you do that, then they're not going to be able to cook their food. So there you go. This is some more hemp fields. These are starting to fall down because you can see it's the end of the season and it's done. Pretty soon, I had to, what ends up happening is when you meet these farmers, they very hospitable people, so then they have to give you shots and shots of their local made whiskey. So it's quite normal for them. If they talk about weed, they think it'd drive you crazy. There's a real hemp house. So this is the hemp herds drying. Here you go. You see they use the hemp plants also for shading on their houses. This is in the storage room, and this is dried, and it's about ready to be brought to the area where they process it. And then you get the hemp fiber. So here you see the bundles of hemp, which you see all around you in these jackets. This is the association. So here on the right, you see the guy I was talking about. This is the governor of the province. All of a sudden, he showed up, and he liked to drink. So you have to survive a night with the local governor. Here's the jackets being manufactured in Nanjing. There's a few issues with producing in China. People talk about child labor. I've never run into that. I go to all the factories myself to make sure. One of the things you don't realize is that the Chinese only have one child. So what they end up doing is really doting over that one child. So to put them to work doesn't really make sense. Now maybe in other regions of China they do, but where I was they don't. So that's a myth that's been busted. That guy's got a nice job, huh? So that's like, I don't know technically exactly everything that's going on, but it basically is a lot of water and a lot of beating of the hemp in order to make it soft so that you'll want to wear it as clothing. Now, hemp is the strongest natural fiber known to man besides spider web. Yes, that's right, spider web. But it's really hard to get spiders to make clothes for you. I'll tell you another funny thing about where they process the hemp. It happens to be in the biggest coal mining town in the world. So you drive through a really dirty, sooty area, and then all of a sudden you come into this hemp village. And the families live there and work at the factory. They got ping pong tables. They even have a basketball team. So they work 8-hour shifts, and the machines run 24 hours a day. So you can do the math. That's 3 shifts a day and night. Here you go. So they're checking out just a little piece of fabric. So it's quite labor intensive, actually. But of course, as you know, there's a lot of people in China, so they've got a lot of labor.